Welcome to Still Talking Uncut. We're your hosts, Sean Rigsby. I'm Big Easy. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you back. Join tonight special guests from AM Scott Distillery, Tony Scott and Jess. Thank you for being here. We definitely appreciate your time on this cold Monday night.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Anytime. Thanks for taking the time to join us. It's nice to hear from a distillery every now and then because we're kind of geared towards not distilleries. People that do the stuff that got their start illegally or whatever. But I mean, it's everybody's got to start somewhere, whether you're running a distillery or no matter what you're doing. But
I think that was one of our goals in the beginning was try to get people from everywhere. Just the legal moonshiner kind of falls into place really quick. It's a lot harder to get, a distillery to sit down and chat with you. So, like I said, we are grateful you're here and thanks for being here. So,
and we love local.
Oh yeah, and we love Ohio. Anybody from Ohio, that's where it's at. In case you wonder, AM Scott is in Troy, Ohio, which is I would say about 20 minutes from me and 20 minutes from Sean, give or take. So it's definitely I haven't made it up there yet, but I'm definitely gonna have to now since Sean locked me in. So
Yeah.
So, how long have you guys been open right there in Troy?
Tony, you want to take that one?
Yeah. We kind of a backstory. We Jess and I both were I owned a local brewery for a few years. I was a construction guy by trade and wanted to get into something a little more fun and had breweries from 2018 and sold the Moeller Brew Barn brand and or my portion of the brand in 2022 and we ended up with the distiller's license from making hand sanitizer during COVID and kind of took it on as a pet project. As I've gotten older, it's been harder and harder to drink beer and not balloon up and, as you
I feel
weed
that.
allergies and all the other stuff that you got when you get old, right? So, so it kind of went from a pet project to in 2022 when I sold that at 42 years old. You can't retire. So I brought 9 of my staff with me, and Jess was the CMO of Moeller, and she came with me, and we started this project. And we'd already kind of gone down the path of we knew what mash bill we wanted to run for all of our products, and we knew we were a really good sales and marketing team, and we know how to produce beer. We knew how to produce and still know how to produce spirits. But there's a lot better people out there than us. And we were so busy producing beer that I ended up contract distilling, having the contract somebody to do all of our spirits. And we do a good, small portion we have a small still in our shop and and we figured that'd get us started. And as we've gotten going here, we're getting ready to order well, actually, we're in the process of finalizing a 300-gallon still that'll go into our warehouse. And we have a local moonshiner that I won't mention his name on here so he didn't get in trouble, but that is helping us with that process. And he'll be our on-site distiller, and we'll start aging in-house and create another brand there. So
That was going to be one of my questions. But so where are you guys located at in Troy? Are you guys my better half works at the Ellison Group in Troy as a real estate agent. How close are you guys to that? Do you know or
That name is familiar to me.
Yeah.
What street, what road?
Oh, it's on it's right on the corner. I can't think of what road it's on.
Is it close to downtown or more toward the highway?
Yeah, it's fairly close to down 25A. Does that sound right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. We're not far at all from there. So our offices are right on South Mulberry Street.
Oh,
We were kind of behind the main post office, if you're familiar with where that is on South Market. But we're right in the heart of Troy. Tony and I, we both live here in Troy. We have families here and really love the community, and really love how the community embraces new business. And with the brewery we had here, it was one of the locations was in Troy, and really got connected in with the community. And that was important to us, knowing that we were about to embark on something new. And, when you have all those great contacts, it's wonderful to feel confident about starting something new. And so our offices are in an old Pontiac dealership from the 20s. And bless you.
Thank you.
And we kept those there. So there's 12 of us there in the office. And we have a bottle parlor there as well. So 10,000 square feet. It's where we do all the bottling, blending, labeling. Our full design team is there, accounting team, marketing team. And we have a side portion of it that's Scotty's Bottle Parlor. So we sell all of our spirits there, along with cigars and all the fun cocktail mixology pieces that go along with it. And so that's open during the week and on Saturdays. We also have a second retail location right on the square, right on the traffic circle in Troy. It's called Provisions Co. We share and sell all of our spirits there as well, but it's a little bit more of a feminine brand, I would say. We have candles and tea towels and snacks and all kinds of local provisions that are mostly Ohio made, if not made in the United States. That's really important to us. So that's inside of the Mayflower building. So that's our other kind of Troy project we have going on. It's called the Mayflower by A.M. Scott Distillery. It's in an old 1928 theater. It was a vaudeville stage, which was meant for live performance. And we're getting ready to open that here in the next few months as a cocktail lounge and restaurant that will feature all of our spirits in the cocktails, have a live music portion to it as well on the original stage. And then a rooftop bar will follow. So there's a lot happening in Troy.
Troy's beautiful. My uncle lived there. We'd go out there all the time, and it's just, if you've never been to Troy, Ohio, it's definitely beautiful. They do the Strawberry Festival there every year. Oh man, it's it's a beautiful place. Like there's a lot of hidden gems around here. So
okay. So I was wrong. It's not on 25A. It was on East West Street. It's the Black House at the five way.
Oh, they just opened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's in the old co-op. There used to be a co-op there, but yeah, so we're not too far from there. So that's Expert Realty is the
EXP.
sales
Yep.
group. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
a
have
construction guy by trade. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to swing by next time I'm up that way and check
yeah,
you
we're not
guys
too
out.
far from there. Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So, talk a little bit about what you guys, what kind of products you guys have. I mean, as far as whiskeys, bourbons.
Yeah, so I mean, going into when we started this, we really wanted to be able to offer a really unbelievable line of vodkas, bourbons, and gins. And being in the beer industry, you got to always provide new and exciting items, and our marketing team does a good job with that. But we do traditional. So if you go to like Kroger in Inglewood, we have 8 SKUs or 8 UPCs there. They would carry. We have 3 iterations of our 21% mash bill. A small batch, which is 5 barrels or less, 92 proof blended. We have actually in Urbana, which is near you, Sean. We have an artesian well there, that limestone well that we pull all our water from, and we use a little bit of Fulton Farm strawberry in that mash bill. And then this same iteration, we take another barrel, single barrel, 100 proof, 4 years of age, and then we have a barrel proof option as well, 4 years of age. So those are the ones bourbons that we have in the store. We have a traditional gin, juniper flavor, heavy forward, nice and clean. And we have an orange gin, which is very popular, light on the orange, or light on the juniper, a little heavier on the citrus peel. And then we have 3 vodkas. So traditional vodka, 6 times distilled. It's a grain vodka, very, very clean. We have a lot of bars and restaurants that have been switching over to it. Good price points. And then we have strawberry. Obviously, we got to have that for Troy. Blueberry, and then we always have a bunch of iterations. So a bunch of seasonals, vanilla to cinnamon bun, peppermint, toasted marshmallow. To we got pickle coming out here shortly for Bloody Mary month. All sorts of fun things, and that's the cool part about it is, having fun with it. Just like you guys, you're trying different things. We also are doing the same thing. So. And then we
Nice.
have rum also coming. We've been barrel aging rum. So it'll probably come out mid-year.
Okay. So talk a little bit about your so you guys sent me a bottle of your single barrel. So what are the grains that go into the single barrel, the Scott's bourbon whiskey?
Jess, you want to take it? You know this.
What are we at? 21% rye.
Yeah.
That's where I know. 4% barley. And what's our other ingredient?
76 corn.
76 corn. Yes. We sent you single barrel.
Yep. Then you sent me a small bottle too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Small batch, I believe.
Yep. Small batch.
Yes, which is at 92 proof. Single barrels at 100.
Yeah, and the thing is if you try both of those, Sean, you'll probably find that I think our mash bill kind of sparkles at 100 to 105. It's actually a little smoother than the 92. And you'll get that a little bit with some of the water qualities that we use out of our well.
So do you guys? Well, I guess. How long was it in the barrel in that one?
Those are both 4 years.
4 years, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, duh. It says right here on the bottle.
That's right.
Well, go ahead, Easy. You got anything for him?
So you said you started with a brewery. Was you one of the brewers there? Was you like a home brewer before you got into the brewery and got it up running, or did you just step in like, hey, how you going?
No, so I was a real estate guy and owned a bunch of real estate in Troy and got burnt out, to be honest with you, and really wanted to get in something fun. And I like beer and I like pizza, so I owned a Lutheran church, here in Troy, and just kind of worked with the city of Troy and didn't know anything about. I mean, I did a little Mr. Beer things that you get at Christmas and all that, but I didn't really know anything. And found a partner, Nick Moeller, that had a small 75-seat location up in Maria Stein, Ohio, and he and I worked together with a team and built that to. I think he's got 400 or 500 seats there now, and we had 4 locations: Troy, large one in Dayton by the stadium, and then Monroe location for production. And we were doing. Oh man!
So, I hate to cut you off real quick, but did you guys get CO2 from a place called oh boy, Gear Gas?
Yeah.
That's where I know that name. I worked for Gear Gas for about 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Mulder's Brew Barn. I think I was there with what was his name? Oh, he's an older guy. He had a goatee, always wore a baseball hat. I can't remember his name. But when I first started, I was riding around with him, and I'm like, man, that's awful close to the house, but just never made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had quite a few folks in there, and they had. But through that process, we brewed quite a bit of beer and learned from people better than us, right? I mean, that's what it all takes. And
that's how we all go.
Yeah. So, and that process, and our original thought was we would take our beer and, distill our beer down, some of our higher stuff and, seltzers and things like that, and see what we can get out of them. And it turned out pretty good. And it just got to be where we just needed to. We were making so much beer that it they needed to be separated. So.
Yep. So, are you guys in liquor stores or estate stores, I guess, or bars or anything like that around here?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're in.
Go
Go ahead. Okay. We're in, I believe, just over or just at 70 state of Ohio liquor stores now. So we're spread out across quite a few counties now, all the way north, all the way south, and we're kind of spreading east as well, just past Columbus. So the growth has been exciting to see, and we've had a good experience working with the state. But we're also in quite a few bars and restaurants as well throughout the state of Ohio. So it's been well received, and it's good to get feedback from the loyal people. You know, we've learned that the bourbon and whiskey industry is they're fiercely loyal, and they'll get behind you if they appreciate what you're doing and share what you're working on. So it's been certainly a uphill battle for me in marketing. There's so many rules and regulations and red tape about what we can and can't do, and so we're just really trying to get creative with how we're sharing our spirits, and getting that flavor in people's mouths is the biggest thing, so that they really fall in love with it. And I think that's where Tony and I work well together, is being able to create environments where people can come in and try it and experience a space and the spirits that we've kind of put our heads together and designed. So we're excited about the spirits, certainly, but also kind of my background is in architecture and design. And so being able to create spaces that people get to enjoy, you know, within the communities that we live in, that's really special to me. So I do the design work and Tony builds it. So it works well.
Well, good.
What size barrels and what char are you using for your aging? Are they different chars, different size barrels?
We use all number 4 char 53 gallon. We do have some other smaller stuff that we're messing around with, but all of our all of our rye and everything comes in that. And we do have some Ambarana barrels that are a little bigger, but they're all in that mid 50s range.
Okay. So do you guys, I'm assuming you don't reuse your barrels?
We've done a little bit of reusing, so we've done some where we put some honey into dumped barrels.
Ooh, okay.
Let that sit in there, collect that bourbon, and then reintroduce bourbon to it to make honey bourbon. But we sell most of our barrels. They're available just about any time. I think we charge $50 for them.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yep. So,
Well, we're going to be coming up. I need to make a
Yeah.
table.
And there you
Yeah.
go.
yeah, we have a lot of furniture makers.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'd use it for.
Well, yeah, why not?
Yeah, we just dumped 2 rye barrels today. 7-year rye barrels that are available now. We just require that we spray them, so you guys can use them for whatever you want. But yeah, we're excited. We got a location in Plain City that we're working on too, an old early 1900 clock tower building that investor group and I and Jess put together. And again, small store, restaurant, distillery. Also in London, Ohio, we're putting a Provisions, which is just a small spirits tasting store. And we've looked at other locations too. So we're excited. You know, we really just started expanding in July, and you know, folks like yourself have been really supportive, and we do appreciate all the help.
Oh, for sure, man. That's the best part about all this, you know, is just supporting local. You know, I didn't know you guys were open until you guys went on our buddy's podcast, American Whiskey. And they said, "Hey, I'm Scott." I'm like, I've never even heard of them, but I don't venture that way, you know,
Right.
too awfully much, unless we're going to like agave and rye or something, you know, something like that. But now I know next time we go there, we're heading over to you guys.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's such a loyal following that a lot of groups like yourselves have, and it's been such a challenge to find these groups because so many of them are private and they don't want to be, you know, on the forefront of, you know, social media, and they're not overly outspoken kind of folks or groups. Because I know there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of trading and fun things that go on in those kind of groups. And we love that, but it's like I said, it's kind of been an uphill battle finding you guys and figuring out who the kind of the target audience is for our spirits. But
Mm-hmm.
it's going well so far, so we're doing all right.
So
the
go ahead.
Moonshiner group, everybody's like, hey, look at me. How you doing? Come on over here. Let's hang out. Let's make liquor. Let's have a good time.
I like
Yeah,
it.
and you guys
we
are
all-
more than welcome to come in and run still with us. Like once we get our
you get
our
that big jacket hooked up. I'll come in there and run. I'll run anything. So
yeah,
I imagine you
we'll
guys
get
are going with a big jacketed still. Are you going to run are you going to run steam or are you going oil?
We're gonna
Or
run.
electric.
We're gonna run a combination of. We have an electric now, and we're gonna run steam jacketed. I think going forward.
Nice.
So
And, they take a lot of work out of it. Just everything in the pot one time through your distillation. You run a big place. A jacket's the way to go for sure.
I could not, I didn't believe how fast those things heated up until I went to Sugarlands that time.
How fast did that 750 heat up, Sean?
45 minutes.
well, most of the time they have some
Agitator and
a
stuff.
brew cut or oh, shoot a pre-warmed set of water.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, escaping the name's escaping.
Boiler? Is it?
It's all right. Just like we do in beer, you preheat it so you don't have to heat it up. But all
Like,
the way.
remember we was out at Indian Creek, Sean, and he runs his runs it through that heater box that's on top of his still to preheat
Yep.
his mash and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool part about our community too. You got those guys out there at Indian Creek, and you got Hainer here in Troy.
Mhm.
They got cool stories. They got really cool stories, and all three completely different business models. All three, marry well together in the community, and it's a cool community.
So that's one thing I was getting ready to say. There's a festival. It'll be the second year coming up. It's called Farm to Bottle.
Okay.
It's
Down
going
in
to be.
Wilmington.
Yep, it's in Wilmington, Ohio, and it's basically themed everything from the farm to the bottle. So, last year he had distilleries there, a bunch of, a few still builders, and just random stuff like that. So
Yep, had moonshiners. Had a lot of backwoods guys. Had some big distilleries. Like Northern Yankee was there. Tucking Reds, Lake Erie from
Yep.
Fred from Lake Erie come down. They had a Jeff the Creed was there, and then they had the one guy with the box that had 6 different type of bourbons in.
Oh,
You
with
could
the
make your
blending
own
guy?
type. Yep.
Yep.
And so this year, old Chris Lewis from Pabst Hilltop Distillery was there, and I was talking to Dan earlier today, and he said he wants even more. So we'll have to get you guys Dan's info, and guys need to come down there and set up this year. I believe it's at the end of September.
Was
down
it?
in Wilmington, Ohio.
We'd love to do that.
And this year they're going to be able, I guess, to do tastings.
Well, we did tastings last year, but
I mean,
there was tastings. There's plenty of tastings last year, Sean. I don't know where you was.
I'm just saying.
We definitely had some tastings going on. Whether they were legal or not, that's nothing to be here nor there. But
I'm going down that road.
But I guess he's trying to get permitted to have a pop-up liquor store so people can sell their bottles there at the same time. Because you try something, you like it, you want to buy it, and you don't have to be like, well, come on up to Troy and get you a bottle. Like that's where Fred ran into it from Lake Erie. He's like, man, I can't sell it to you. I can't sell it to you. Come get one. It's like, well, you're 4 hours away, Fred. I don't think that's gonna happen.
And that's the thing with Ohio being a control state. I would say it's definitely kind of a pain in the ass to have to work around stuff like that.
It's good and bad, I think, to be honest with you. I mean, it definitely is more profitable for the Ohio distillers, because it's a one-party distribution, right? So there is that. It does make it a little different, but yeah, we've actually what worked good there. We actually were throwing around an idea of letting farmers send us their grain, their corn, and actually aging it for them, and and calling it whatever their farm name is for them, and then creating bottles. So that something like that would be really cool.
Nice. So talk a little bit about your guys' vodka. I mean, I feel like you guys are really proud of your bourbon, but vodka is definitely not something to, write off either. But um,
Yeah, I think with, Tony being a male and that tends to be more of a bourbon tends to be more of a male drink from what I've gathered so far. We have a lot of really amazing, and I'm not speaking for myself. We have a lot of powerful, I think, strong women on our team in our office, and tends to be a little bit more of a vodka crowd. Um, and so it's been exciting to really develop those. I almost see it as sort of an entry spirit, not so harsh, a really good mixer, and makes a beautiful cocktail sometimes. And we knew we wanted to have a really well-rounded collection going into the idea of opening up a restaurant. We didn't want it to just be a bourbon bar, just be a gin bar. Really wanted to really round out that collection, and so decided to bring on vodka and started with our 6 times distilled. So really clean, smooth drinking vodka. I think it's a good replacement for, how should I say this, an orange and black labeled bottle that you see a lot in the vodka world. Also, we've added quite a few flavored vodkas as well. So we come out with a monthly seasonal, and it's been really fun to see.
so
Yeah.
you say flavored, like post flavored or infused?
We do mostly post flavored.
Okay.
The only infused that we got is our gin currently. We don't really have the capability yet to do infusions like that, and we do we have that contracted out, our mash bill contracted out for that. So
We do work with a really cool company that we found online called Part One Cocktail Company, and it's an infusion company. And so we sell their infusion kits in our store. They come up with a cocktail recipe, and they come in these packets. It almost looks like a tea packet, but they come with 8 cocktails in a box. Infuse it with our gin or our vodka. It makes a really great cocktail. So that's been fun. But also gin. I feel like gin's kind of been our sleeper, but I have really come to love our gin. We have our regular, which is a little heavier on the juniper notes, but wanted to come out with a citrus gin, which has been well received in the John Barleycorn Awards. It's an orange gin, and it's really refreshing. I think we've come to find that citrus kind of goes year round in Ohio. We'll take citrus in the summer, but we'll also welcome it and bring it on in the winter when it's cold. So that's been a really good seller as well for us.
I think in the wintertime, you'll want something to remind you of the warmer days that are coming. You get to that point like, man, I need something summery.
Right.
I need something summery. Makes
Pina
you feel a
colada.
little better. So anything, especially a week like this, like anything, just give me anything. This week it's more like 120 plus proof. That's what you need to get you by. So
Right.
I saw somebody ask a question on there about how we came up with our mash bills. To be honest with you, we like to bottle things that we like to drink. So, I've always drank bourbon in that 17, 18 to 22, 25% rye. And so as we started going through that, what we wanted to, how we wanted to blend and all that, we went around to talk to all these contractors to help us make our product, kind of settled into that range, and kind of we really fell in love with that 21% rye mash bill with MGP makes our mash bill for us, and it's been a home run. And when we blend it with the products that we got, we're really happy with it. So same thing with our vodka. It's messing with waters, doing all that kind of stuff. So we do all that in-house. We just don't make the bulk product yet.
Okay.
Well, y'all ever need some quality control, just give us a call. And I've got experience in judging liquor.
We have a group called the Morning Drinkers. It's kind of a play on AM Scott. We meet once a quarter, and we'd taste all the barrels, and that's how we pick the barrel proof barrels,
Nice.
rye barrels, things like that. So yeah, I'll let you know next time you guys come over and sip it
Oh,
up.
shit.
You gotta be able to drink like 22 to 25 tasters of bourbons.
How
I
big's
mean-
a taster? You know,
It's as big as you want to pour it.
my man's my man. If I could make it through a Saturday at the Hillbilly Jam, I'm sure I could deal. So
But it's really bad because I'm working, so I don't even drink the whole time. So then by the time we get to the end, everybody's kind of having a good time, and I'm sitting there going, I need a cocktail.
see, I checked out this one place. You know, I was online messing around, seeing they hiring tasters, and they're like, "Oh well, you got to swish and spit." I'm like, "Bro, you lost me. You lost me, man. If I can't drink it, I'm not spitting it out. Like it's blasphemy. You don't spit stuff out. Come on."
It's always the first go around for the morning drinker is always a little rough. They typically don't come back to the second one, and then they brave it to come back to the third one, and then they're good. They've got it figured out by then.
You got to get that second win, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. I'm sure we've all been there. Like, I'll sit this one out, but I'll be back in a little bit. And then you come back strong and you finish the night off real strong.
So, do you guys offer like a white dog or a corn whiskey or a rye? That's you know what I mean, or anything like that?
Yeah, we have a rye collection. Actually, our
Unaged, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
yeah, we don't have anything unaged yet. When we start producing our own stuff, we'll probably start getting into that. We're still trying to figure everything out, and but we'll have some unaged rum. But we don't have any unaged whiskey or any kind of blend of bourbon or anything. So.
Nice. And I know I know you said you guys basically got started with beer, making beer and stuff. That's in my opinion, that's the hardest thing about the whole distilling process is getting, the fermentation right and the temperatures and all that stuff.
Even with a lot of home distillers, they'll be like, "Man, I made beer and wine forever," and then they jump in. They have a much easier go when it gets into the distilling part because I don't want to say mastered the ferment, but if you can ferment and make a good beer, you ain't got no problem making a good liquor because there's a hell of a lot more work and steps and sanitation involved when it comes to making a quality beer as opposed to making a liquor. You get an infection in your mash barrel, your liquor, and you're like, sweet, grow all you want, add that flavor. I don't know what flavor it's going to be, but
well, depending on which one it is.
Yeah, and I'm by no means a master distiller or brewer, but I definitely had a fast class in it, and Nick Moeller, my business partner, he was a non-nuclear engineer, and that's all. He loved making beer, made it in his garage forever, and learned most of that process from him, and I got the Cliff Notes version of, hey, I fucked all this stuff up. Oh,
You're fine.
You can cuss, you can say whatever you, but remember,
I fucked all this stuff up.
It's unedited, so it's here to stay.
This is the stuff that you shouldn't do. Clean. And
if I had a nickel for everything I fucked up, I wouldn't be doing this podcast with Sean.
Right, but the next person you teach, you're going to tell them, okay, don't do this, and this, and at least it takes that process out.
Yes, it's always nice to be like, man, I don't do it like that because of this bad experience I had. So yes, it's definitely the knowledge you gained, you're free to spread, and that's what it should be, spread freely. So definitely say, don't do as I say, not as I do. I do that a lot. So,
and we really have a really good company culture of, hey, there's a lot of people better than us at a lot of things, and they're willing to help us. Ask the question. Like everybody that works for me is way better than everything that I am. It's just, we hire the best people, and then they are the experts in X, Y, Z, and it makes you look really smart. if you hire really good people. So
Well, you know, usually the owner of a football team doesn't know shit about what's going on the field, so he hires great coaches to run the team for him and win him a title. You know, you're only as good as your team. So, you know, whatever you bring in is what you're going to get back. So, yeah, man, go out there, get the best you can find, get the smartest people, and it's great to have people that you can always learn from.
Right.
So what's your guys' biggest obstacle been since you guys opened up?
I honestly would say for us, you know, we had a leg up with all the federal licensing and all that stuff because it's the same in beer, right? So if you get a label for beer, it's the same as the labels for liquor. So we do all that stuff internally, which most people have to hire lawyers and all that other stuff. So most people say that's difficult. That's easy for us. We've always dealt with the TTB, the licensing, all the other stuff. The hardest part for us, and it's probably the hardest part about all startup distilleries, is cash flow, right? So if you're a startup distillery in moonshine or this, that, or the other, and you want to get your product to market, you a lot of times rush it to market because you need money, right? To buy more corn, buy this, that, and the other. For us, we had 6 months where we just had our people together. So we had all the labels, everything done with that. So when we turned the button on July 1st of this year to be able to expand in Ohio, we went from 7 stores to 70 stores, and we sold 20,000 bottles in 6 months. So
Wow.
keeping up with that pace, not necessarily from production line, but just making sure that our people can keep up with the pace and all the different things. So that's probably we're used to a fast pace. That's probably the hardest thing, and that's the hardest thing in any startup business. But yeah.
So go ahead.
That long stagnant transition period.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's what makes it so hard. That's why there's not, you know, 1,000 small distilleries around yet, because it's being able to just eat that time and eat that money until you get going. That's what keeps most of us out of it.
Yep. You got to have a really, really big ambition.
Got to have huge balls to take that jump. That's for sure.
If not, deep pockets help, I'd say.
Yeah.
But
we come up short on both of them, Sean. We're just might as well just stick to the beer kegs, huh? Shit.
what was I going to say? Well, hell, I about
Man, Sean. So, as far as how many different lines of vodka do you have right now? And which one is your best seller?
We have five distillery cores: vanilla, lemon, blueberry, strawberry, regular vodka. Our regular vodka is by far our best seller. It's in the most stores.
This is the one I tried, the 80 proof.
Yeah.
Neutral spirit. Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
You can actually taste the grain in it, I feel like.
You know, it was vodka. It was
Sweet.
vodka, but it definitely had its own little, like, everybody, like, I don't care how neutral it is. If you've tasted enough moonshines and liquors, you can definitely pick out the subtle hints on the back end.
Yeah.
That most people won't. But yeah, it was soft. Like, even for 80 proof, it was soft. There was no heat there. And it was, I want to say flavorless, but like Sean said, you could pick up that grain note on the back end just a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, we try not to kill people on the price point with it either. It's $19.99 in the stores, so a lot of the people get kind of proud of their stuff, and we're just trying to make sure.
What proof is most of your vodkas? Is it all the same, or?
So they're all 70 proof, except for the 6 times distilled. It's 80 proof.
Okay.
That's our traditional vodka.
I just counted our lineup for 2024, and we have 18 different vodkas slated to release. So, and that includes some of them we've already released, our core, but some really fun ones, like we mentioned before, a dill pickle for, I think, May. We're slating Bloody Mary month, cucumber, cracked pepper, fun things like peach, pomegranate, peppermint. We just like to have a lot of fun with that. So yeah.
I'm gonna have to come up here and try all them when that happens.
Yeah.
Just don't hand me the cucumber one. We'll be all right. So I'll try all the other ones.
Of all
And get your
flavors.
vegetables.
Ain't no cucumber over here. Hand me the pickle. I love the pickles.
How much sense does that make?
Hey
I
man,
mean,
it's
really.
different, bro. You change it. It's not the same. Ain't nothing the same about it. So, but can you elaborate a little bit more on your on your barrel pick program that you do?
Yeah, so we're a little different. So, again, we're sales and marketing folks, so we like to fix things. So, seems like whether you do a bourbon club or a bar or a restaurant or whatever it might be, you go out and you do these barrel picks, and you have to write a check for, I don't know, 10, 20 grand, right? And then you got to make sure you sell them, or sometimes they're half barrels. Well, we run a program where we actually, we'll, because we can distribute it directly out of our liquor store, out of our distillery. You can come in, and we only do 100 bottle minimum. It includes a custom label, and you can come in. We do a whole thing for a team building. You can bring 8 people in, do all the tastings, pick your barrel. We can do a single barrel or a barrel proof pick. It only costs you retail bottle cost. That's it. So if your podcast wanted to do a half barrel pick or 100 bottles, we would actually send you a link. They would actually purchase it from us, so that you don't have to collect the money. You don't have to put any upfront money in it. There's no deposit. There's none of that stuff. And then you would sell your bottles for your podcast or business or whatever it might be. And then we would tell you when they're done. It's usually 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks after the pick. So it's instantaneous. We do about 4 to 5, 6 barrel picks a quarter. And may try to make that process a little more streamlined for you folks.
Nice.
And we do 4-year, like I said, 4-year single barrel, 4-year barrel proof. We have a 7-year single barrel rye, 7-year barrel proof rye, which 7-year barrel proof rye just was the John Barleycorn rye whiskey of the year, and a blind taste test. And then we have a 7-year, it's a Founders. We only do one of those a quarter, 7-year, 21% rye.
Okay. So do you guys only do the 53-gallon barrels and the ones a little bit above, or do you do any testing with like 10 gallons or 30 gallons or anything like that?
We have not gotten into that as far as the, and even when we've done big runs, we'll just dump them into it. We got totes. We would just tote it until we get a 53 gallons and put it into a barrel. And even all the ones that like our rums and our honey bourbons and things like that, we've always put them in 53 gallons.
Nice.
To be honest with you, because when we release them, we need the volume.
Yep.
We have our barrel proof rye release, the one that just won the award. I would venture to say that by Saturday midday, the 200 some bottles that we have for that will be gone. So
Yeah, that's insane. I know when you said all them bottles, like a lot of these small distilleries, they'll do 10 gallons, 30 gallons. Indian Creek, that's what they do, 10 and 30. But they don't sell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they sell in liquor stores. You have to buy it from the distillery. Now,
I'm not entirely. I'm not real sure. To be honest with you.
Are you talking about Indian Creek, Sean?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure you're correct. I just can't give you a full 100 ever. So, but
You wouldn't even if you could.
you damn right.
Let's be honest.
So did you say that we're making a trip there on Saturday, Sean? I'll meet you there.
Sure.
LeMasters, I'll meet you there, brother. He's not far, right up in Conover. So
Yeah, that's So that's Miami East
School
District. That's where our kids, Jess and I's kids, they go to Miami East, so it's right over there. But yeah, and that good thing about like when we do those releases, we release them Friday at 8:00 at night, so you can actually buy them online. You don't have to stand in line, and we just have them labeled for you when you get there. It's still first come first serve. It's just Friday at 8.
Yeah,
And then Saturday at 11, we open up for those that have them reserved or want to get any left that are not spoken for.
Okay. So I know you said something about you guys are planning on doing like a 300-gallon still. Is that
Yeah.
something that Vendome is going to build, or have you ventured into
Um,
that area yet?
yeah. So I don't have the information in front of me, but I do not know who the manufacturer is. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We went through 4 or 5 different still building compartments or companies, and we're using some beer equipment for part of it. I don't know.
I don't blame you. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's what I know too, right? So it's like,
yeah.
you start dealing with fermenters. Like, there's tons of breweries getting rid of fermenters all the time. So they're a little different, but any kind of cone, just we've got a lot of height, so we want something that's a little taller. But yeah, and there is some components that we added for infusions and things like that, so that we can take it through compartments. But yeah, and then when we get that up and running, we'll get you guys over there. You can run it with us and do something live or something. But
Sure, anytime.
I'm all about running a still. Any size, anywhere, on any type of fuel. I'll push buttons and turn knobs, so I figure it out. So,
Well, that's the cool thing. Like you said, you can use brewing things, for distilling. I mean, essentially, a tank's a tank at the end of the day. You know, you can put a top. Go
we
ahead.
ferment in trash cans if need be. So,
Well, I mean, really, you can put a top on it, and then a tower or whatever else. I mean, that's what I really love about this. It's everything. I mean, whether it's bourbon or vodka or the still boiler, whatever. I mean, you can do so much stuff with anything.
you can modify it. Like, you can modify it to meet your needs so easily, and it's so craft. Like, I always love the home distiller where people look at their rig like, I can't believe you're using that, and I'm like, that's amazing. I love that thing. How does it not blow up? I like stuff like that. Like, it piques my interest a lot more than a big 1,000-gallon still, and like, those are what they are. It's all, a lot of it's turnkey. So yeah, the small rig together. I love that. I love that kind of stuff. I love seeing it. So
right, but like, a distillery that if you're just wanting to do vodka, then you're going to build a still just to do vodka.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But so are you guys just in Ohio, or have you guys ventured off to any other states yet? Or
I'm gonna let Jess answer that, but I gotta get another drink.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, so we're in Ohio right now, but we do have a license for Kentucky. Talking to a couple of different distributors about kind of what's the next best move for us. Because I think it's easy to look at Kentucky and say, oh my gosh, can you imagine trying to get in there and become known? It's so overpopulated with so many distilleries, and I can appreciate that. Like, that's the home of, where it all started, and that's who they are. That's what they do. And I love that, right? I love that about them. So we do have our license in Kentucky. We are also online, and we can ship to 7 different U.S. states currently. And we can also ship our spirits to 71 U.S. military bases currently, which has been a really neat kind of piece for us, because we came out with a salute to service collection. So it's a line of 7 different small batch bottles that are all themed for one branch of the military or another. And so you have, even Space Force. We've got a bottle for Space Force now. So it's a really great line. And we're able to ship to that now, but we're also getting ready to add on another option to where we can ship to 41 states. So as you guys know, it's a state to state. It depends on what the rules are there. Even within those 7 that we can ship to, we can't even ship a bottle to Springfield, Ohio. Like, we can't ship within Ohio at all. So it's really kind of that state to state rule. And I know there's different legislature trying to get passed all the time to allow that to really open up, especially for small craft distilleries. That'd be wonderful. But we're just kind of easing into this. like we mentioned before, it's been kind of a rocket ship since July 1 when we kind of started this thing up or went live with the state. And so really kind of picking what our next best step has been kind of what we're focused on, really. So it's exciting. I know there's a lot of really great bourbon festivals down in Kentucky that we would see last year, but quite a few of them only kind of entertain folks who have that distiller's license there. So we're thinking about moving down there. It's just partnering up with the right company to grow with us. So yeah.
Yep. Well, that's what I really appreciate about you guys and all the Ohio distilleries. Because for the longest time, Ohio wasn't known for liquor.
Right.
And I would say in the past 5 or so years, probably a little longer than that, but it's made a name for itself.
Right. Yeah, and I don't think we necessarily need to, get into Kentucky immediately and try to compete with the folks there. Last September, October, I believe it was, we went to Henwick Farm and Brewery up in Delaware, Ohio, I believe. And it was an OHLQ pop-up store and festival, and it was a spirits tasting. I think they allowed, I don't know, 500 or 600 tickets, and it sold out almost immediately the week before. And it was really exciting to see that it was all Ohio distillers. I want to say there was probably, I don't know, 30 probably distilleries there representing from all over Ohio. And it was even more cool to see Indian Creek and us and Hainer all there, 3 of those being from Troy. So I think there's a momentum here with distilleries in Ohio, and it's exciting to be a part of it and kind of make a name for ourselves, like you said.
Absolutely. So what kind of goals do you guys have for, are you guys, well, I know you talked about bringing in that big still and all that, but do you guys have any other goals set as far as, distilling at other locations as well, or?
Yeah, we currently have a still site in all of our locations, and when we go into Plain City, there'll be a small still site there. London, there'll be 5-gallon stills that will run periodically to make local product at those places. But we have a lot of big goals, and like I said, we're really good at sales and marketing, and so for us to grow, outside the state and become for us, we want to become a regional brand, and we want to make good product, but we also want to keep it local. So if we're able to make some local specific products, all of our stores have local high school shirts, and in Hobart or in Troy we have the Hobart original welding pictures, and the original patents that Jess does tea towels of for the original Hobart mixer. In Plain City, they're looking at all those different things that Plain City provides, and going into these small towns and connecting to them and letting them connect to our spirits. So, a couple can come in, the guy can come in, drink some bourbon, and, do a little shopping. And, we have a lady in Casttown, Ohio, since you're familiar with Conover, that makes jelly beans and pepper relish for us. We sell that in our stores. And one of our investors is a principal or one of the owners of Hartzler Dairy. So we're going to be bringing in Hartzler Dairy. And we have a lady in Fletcher, Ohio, that makes our lotions. And so that's just, for us to connect to these communities and be able to share our spirits with them. And I think that's important. And we're taking these old buildings that were mostly neglected in these small towns, and spending millions of dollars on these renovations to make them to bring them back to life. It's a lot of fun. And, for me, I got burnt out in construction, but it still gives me that opportunity to turn these historic buildings into something that these towns could be proud of again.
Nothing like a little demolition to make you feel better.
But they're damn expensive to do. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. That's really cool. You talked about being really good at marketing. Most of these small distilleries that like me, if I were to open one,
Not me.
I might be able to
Just-
make the liquor, but I wouldn't be able to fucking market. Like that's not me, you know. So I think a lot of the places that do wind up failing are terrible at marketing.
Yep. Like you see it all the time, you know. And then like it helps if you're a personable person. You can go out, you can talk to people, you can talk to anyone. Like you got to go up and talk to Sean and make him speak to you. Whereas I'm over here like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Let's have a good time.
Yeah, that's it. I think it goes with anything. Like even when I was in construction, building houses, right? A lot of people can build houses. It's not rocket science. There's a lot of people over a period of time, depending on if it's 2 months or 2 years, you can figure out how to make moonshine, whiskey, figure out the process, right? It's can you sell it?
Yeah.
It's really what it comes down to is can you move it? And it's the same thing with housing. If I gave you a deck package, you could probably build a deck. Whether it takes you 2 months or 2 years, you can make money off of it. But can you sell another one? Can you sell another one? Can you sell another one?
Yeah, that's just it. Anybody can sell anything one time. It's getting the people to buy it again.
How do you get the same person to come back every time? Every time I love your product to the point where you come back, and a lot of it is support your community, and your community will support you. And that's just, it doesn't matter what business you're doing, if be good at what you do, love what you do, and people know it. You can tell when you got the guy over there or the lady and she just loves what she does, as opposed to the person that they give you the vibe like, man, do you even want me here? Like you act like you don't want me here, like
Yeah.
enjoy it. So it makes a lot of
Yeah,
difference.
you can create the buying decision one time because they buy it because it's local, right? But you need them to buy it continually, and you need them to be able to go to Columbus, Delaware, and they need to talk about it to their friends, and that's it. Just depends on what you like and what you want, And we're really proud of it, and I'm proud of my team. Jess, I'm terrible at marketing. Jess is the boss lady on that, so. But
Hey, like I said, you're as strong as the team you bring in. So like if you get somebody that's great at something that you're not good at, you learn a lot from them in the process. But then they do such a great job for you, So
Yep.
yeah, she has a great team, and I have a great sales team, and I really, when you don't have to worry about it when you leave for the weekend, it's a good place to be. So
Yep.
yeah, that's,
So what would you say, or well, I guess what's your best seller?
yep. We'll end with that. What's your best seller, and then what do you love the most that you make?
So our single barrel and our small batch go head to head on our best seller as far as the bottle count. And then I think distilled vodka just has those numbers, but
I was going to say, I was just going to pull up some numbers here.
orange gin is really good. We sell a shit ton. That's a metric unit of strawberry vodka. I think we sold 1,000 bottles or something dumb for the strawberry festival. So that it skews the numbers a little bit, but we really sell a lot of everything, and you go in and you want to be a bourbon guy, but for us, we want all of them to be awesome because somebody may only drink peppermint schnapps and you're able to switch them over to peppermint vodka, and you just don't know. People love so many different things and so many different cocktails.
Yeah, people like what they don't even know they like it until you get them to try it, and they're like, "Oh, I really like that." I really like that. So,
Well, and that's the thing too. I've noticed most distilleries either they'll, at least around here, if they're moonshine based, they have a lot of flavors, but if they're bourbon based, then they kind of like the flavored vodkas or something. So, I mean, I don't know the numbers, but if I had to guess, I would say women.
it's your money.
Yeah.
And women are your money. That's your money. It's where you make most of your money. That's from the ladies, and because the men want what the women want. So that's just the way it is. For everywhere you hear them all talk about, you'll sell 100 flavors for every clear jar of liquor, and it doesn't matter if you're in the backwoods or in a distillery. And there's a reason why amusement parks are for kids. It's the same deal. Like.
Yeah.
You sell it to the man's family, and he'll gladly pay for it. And he'll gladly buy his family something before he buys himself something, and that's just how it is. So,
yep. So we're coming up on the hour. Tell everybody where they can find you guys on social media,
where
and
they
all
can
that.
get your bottle shipped, you know,
Yep.
where you guys are at, and
I want to know what Sean thought about the single barrel. He didn't say.
Oh, the single barrel.
Yeah.
It's as smooth. I'm
You
not
can
a
tell
real
me if you didn't like it.
no. So I'm not a real big whiskey guy, bourbon guy myself.
Okay.
But I appreciate good liquor, and it's great liquor. I that's why I asked you about the White Dog, or well, I guess the clear corn liquor, because I feel like the wood overtakes the character of the liquor itself.
Interesting.
Not your guys, it's just in general.
Yeah, that's a me too. I like my liquor clear, clear as can be, without. Some people they like bourbon. They really like that woody, that oak. I don't. I want just the flavor of the mash bill to shine, 100%. And I've had some good bourbons, and so I'm not a big wood guy. I'm not a big oak guy, and I think that's just from running my own liquor clear all the time, and I don't like to put wood on it. But I believe I tried your I forget which one you guys sent me. I tried it, and it's a good bourbon.
So 4 year is about the most I would personally go, if I'm buying it. I had a 2-year apple brandy from Indiana. It was pretty good. It was the best apple brandy probably I've had. But yeah, 4 years is about the best I'll go, the most I'll go.
Are you talking before it gets a little too oaky for you?
Yeah.
Before it gets a little too strong for you? 4 years about your max.
Yep.
Now, when you do mash, when you do your own moonshine mash, but do you do more rye?
So rye is actually my favorite grain.
I like mine. I like the wheat. I'm a wheat guy.
But the rye, a lot of people grind it up. I won't grind up mine. I'll just soak my rye because I feel like it really helps. It's not so peppery. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The finer you grind that rye, the more peppery it's going to be on the back end. So I'm with Sean. If I'm using rye, I'm just going to soak it. I'm not going to grind it. I'm definitely not going to flour it. I'm just going to soak it just like it is because I'm not a big rye. I like mine wheat. Like I could do 100% wheat or corn wheat. That's me all day long.
Yep. But the thing is too though, if I was doing the same thing you guys were doing, my equipment would be different. You guys would be able. I'm assuming you're planning on cooking on the grain.
Correct.
Distilling on the grain.
Yeah, with the jacket.
Yeah. See, that's not anything I would. You know what I mean? I would ever have done.
It's not anything we're able to do.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm able to do, and it definitely it changes things. It definitely changes your flavor profiles when you're able to distill on the grain.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm intrigued when you guys get that set up. I like to compare and contrast. So like if you do one, like if you do a same mash bill that you're sourcing now, and then you're able to compare them, like, oh man, I like this a lot better.
So it says on the bottle, it says 4-year-old barrel aged non-chill filter. Do you guys do any kind of filtered on anything, or is it just?
We filter the charcoal out of it when we pump it out of the. That's just really just to get particulates out of it, but you filter it too much, you lose a lot of that flavor, and that's why we kind of stuck at 92, because if we got any lower than that, it got real cloudy for us. You won't see that in your clear shine, but for us, it's all the water and that limestone well that we got it coming from it. It really gets really murky if you get down in the road, and that's where you get to the chill filtering in for like Crown and things like that.
So you guys proof with that artesian limestone water
Just for our
Yeah.
bourbons.
just for your
We
bourbon.
have different water for our gins and our
Yeah.
and our vodka and rum.
So I've got a random question about that. So do you guys, just say you pull a barrel, as far as proofing goes, have you guys ever added the water to the barrel and let it soak in the barrel for 24, 48 hours that you actually dumped and then pulled that water out and proofed the barrel?
We have not done that. Sometimes we'll proof it gets a little high and we proof it down before we.
Oh,
Mute your microphone and let him talk, Sean. What a bad host.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, no, we've never done that, but it's for us. We really got the flavor that we wanted with just using the local water and
Nice.
but yeah, but we have proof down when we put some stuff into aging. If we're going to make a single barrel and we split it in half to get 2 honey barrels, you should try to make that a little more flavor. But
Nice.
But
all right, well, we'll let y'all get off here. We've been on here long enough, so I imagine Sean's in trouble already. It's normal. So, but
yeah, I
anyways,
apologize.
it's fine. We've had everybody here long enough. So, you guys, you get to Troy, Ohio. Go check out A.M. Scott Distillery. Next time, all y'all come up here for my birthday party in October. We're gonna make a mass trip out there. We're gonna check it out. I get about 20, 25 moonshiners from all over the country that come in for my birthday party in October every year. So we'll make a big trip up to see you guys, and we look forward to that.
won't we run something while you're there as a group?
You had me at run, so I'm about that life. So we appreciate you guys giving us your time, Tony, Jess. Best of luck to you. We hope everything keeps expanding and growing and running the way you want. And I really look forward to checking out your new 300-gallon still when you guys get it all set up. So,
and we'll be up there to check you guys out and buy some bottles prior to that.
Yeah. We get off here. We're gonna hop in a group chat and see if we can't set up a little swing by on Saturday.
Awesome.
Yeah, just let Jess know or myself know, and we'll make sure everything's ready for you.
My man, we appreciate you so much. You guys have a great evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. Who we got next week, Sean?
We've got Patrick Heiss from Wilderness Trail in Kentucky.
And Firm Solutions.
Firm Solutions, yep.
All right. Well, everybody have a great night. Thank you so much. Stay warm if you can. We love all y'all. Shine on.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye.